For years, the world has been curious about Bishop T.D. Jake's family, especially his daughter. Always in the spotlight, her life has often been the subject of speculation, sometimes glamorous, sometimes filled with unverified struggles. Until now, the truth remained behind closed doors, known only to those closest to her. Bishop T.D. Jake, known globally as a spiritual leader, author, and motivational speaker, has inspired millions. Yet, despite his public presence, his family life has always been intensely private. Over the years, people wondered about his daughter's choices, her career, and how she navigated life away from the public eye. Rumors quietly circulated. Some claimed she had given up opportunities. Others whispered about personal challenges. Even acquaintances speculated about her relationships, creating a narrative that wasn't confirmed. And while the public buzzed with guesses, the real story stayed silent. That silence only fueled curiosity, leaving questions hanging and emotions running high. Then, one day, everything changed. Bishop T.D. Jake stepped onto a live stage and addressed the rumors head-on. Calm, sincere, and composed, he spoke directly to the audience. He acknowledged the stories that had followed his family for years, admitting that some contained truths never shared publicly before. He revealed the challenges his daughter faced, the pressure of public expectation, the hurdles in finding her path, and the moments when life felt almost unbearable. But he also emphasized her strength, resilience, and courage. Here was a father, vulnerable yet proud, showing the world a side of his family no one had ever seen. This was the first glimpse into the human side of a life, often misunderstood, a life beyond rumors, beyond speculation. And for the audience, it was a powerful reminder. Behind every headline is a real person with struggles, dreams, and emotions that deserve respect and understanding. After Bishop T.D. Jake's public statement, everything began to shift. The story was no longer just about rumors or idle gossip, became a lesson in understanding and empathy. For years, people had painted pictures of his daughter's life without truly knowing her experiences. But now, the narrative was changing. Bishop Jake spoke with heartfelt honesty about the immense pressure his daughter faced growing up under constant public scrutiny. Every decision, every mistake, every achievement had been magnified by the world. He shared how challenging it was for her to find her own path while the weight of expectation seemed almost unbearable. The rumors that had quietly circulated for years, questions about her career, her choices, and her personal life, were finally addressed. Some of the stories were partially true, others completely false. But the point was no longer to confirm or deny every detail. Instead, Bishop Jake focused on the human reality behind the headlines. He highlighted her resilience, her courage, and the quiet determination it took to navigate life in such an intense spotlight. The audience could feel his sincerity. He spoke not just as a public figure, but as a father who had watched his child struggle, triumph, and grow into a remarkable young woman. It was a rare moment of vulnerability from a man admired worldwide for his strength and leadership. Yet in that moment, the world saw a father protecting, honoring, and deeply loving his daughter. This public acknowledgement did more than clarify facts, it reshaped perception. His daughter was no longer a subject of gossip. She was a young woman, with real struggles and real achievements, deserving of understanding and respect. The revelation also reminded everyone that fame doesn't shield people from challenges. In fact, living in the public eye can amplify struggles, making every choice a potential headline. Bishop Jake also touched on the emotional impact of speculation, just on his daughter, but on their family as a whole. He explained how unverified stories can create tension, breed misunderstanding, and put immense pressure on those involved. His words were measured, compassionate, and honest. They weren't meant to garner sympathy, but to humanize a life that had long been misrepresented. For his daughter, this was a moment of liberation. Finally, she could be seen for who she truly was, not for the versions imagined by others. The narrative shifted from judgment to empathy, from curiosity to compassion. The audience witnessed a father's love in its purest form, a protective, unwavering force ready to confront misunderstanding with truth. What made this moment even more powerful was the universal message it carried. Bishop Jake's speech wasn't just about his daughter. It was about every person who has ever felt the weight of public scrutiny, every individual whose life has been misinterpreted, and every family silently bearing the consequences of rumors. His words emphasize that strength isn't the absence of struggle, but the ability to face life honestly, even when it's hard. The courage it took for both father and daughter to confront the world with truth is a lesson in integrity and love. It reminded viewers that real courage often happens quietly, behind closed doors. Away from the cameras and applause, the impact of this revelation was immediate. Conversations online and offline began to change. People who had previously engaged in gossip began to pause and reconsider. They saw the human cost of spreading stories without understanding the reality behind them. Empathy started to replace judgment, and respect began to take the place of speculation. For the daughter, the relief was profound. Years of unspoken pressure, hidden struggles, and constant scrutiny could finally be acknowledged and validated. For Bishop Jake, speaking publicly was an act of courage and protection, a way to reclaim dignity for his family and remind the world of the importance of truth. As viewers watched this unfold, the story became a lesson in compassion. It reminded everyone that behind every rumor is a real person with feelings, fears, and dreams. It encouraged reflection before judging, before sharing unverified stories. Before forming opinions, consider the human life involved. Bishop Jake's admission also highlighted an important truth about parenting under the public eye. Children of prominent figures often carry invisible burdens. Their achievements are scrutinized, their mistakes magnified, and their personal growth judged by the world. By speaking openly, Bishop Jake not only protected his daughter, but also shed light on the challenges faced by countless young people in similar situations. This chapter in their lives was transformative. It wasn't just about confronting rumors, it was about embracing honesty, reclaiming identity, and restoring dignity. The focus shifted from the fleeting allure of gossip to the enduring value of empathy. And in that shift, the story resonated far beyond the family, touching the hearts of anyone who had ever been misunderstood or misjudged by the end of his address. The audience could see the true picture: a young woman who had faced immense pressure, navigated challenges with courage, and emerged resilient. She was more than the sum of rumors and headlines. She was a person with depth, strength, and humanity. Bishop Jake's words gave her that recognition, and in doing so, reminded the world of the simple but powerful principle that every life deserves respect. This moment also emphasized the power of truth to heal. Misunderstandings and false narratives can wound, but honesty and transparency can restore faith, understanding, and compassion. Bishop Jake's openness was a testament to this power. It transformed the conversation from one of judgment to one of empathy, turning a private struggle into a lesson for the world. Ultimately, this story is a reminder that the most courageous act often isn't grand gestures or public victories. It's facing life openly, admitting truth, and protecting those you love, even when it's difficult. Bishop Jake's heartfelt words became more than just a clarification. They became a call to empathy, a plea for understanding, and a demonstration of the strength found in love and honesty. In the aftermath of Bishop T.D. Jake's heartfelt admission, the world saw a shift. The story was no longer about rumors or gossip. It became a powerful lesson in love, resilience, and the importance of human empathy. What had once been whispered behind closed doors was now spoken openly, and in doing so, it transformed public perception. For his daughter, this moment was deeply personal. After years of living under the glare of public scrutiny, she could finally breathe without the weight of speculation looming over every step. She was no longer defined by what others said about her. Her struggles, her achievements, her choices, all of it, could finally be acknowledged as her own. This recognition was more than relief. It was liberation. Bishop Jake's openness also showcased the profound bond between father and daughter. His words carried the depth of parental love, protective, nurturing, and unwavering. By speaking publicly, he demonstrated that even figures admired for their strength and leadership are human. They can be vulnerable. They can feel the weight of responsibility and the ache of watching a loved one struggle. And they can choose honesty over fear, compassion over judgment. The public's response reflected the story's transformative power. Conversations began to change. Where speculation and judgment had once ruled, empathy and understanding started to take root. Viewers were reminded that behind every headline, there are real lives, real emotions, and real consequences. This shift in perspective was subtle, yet profound. People began to consider the impact of their words. Realizing that gossip can wound just as deeply as any direct action, Bishop Jake's message also spoke to a universal truth. Fame does not protect one from hardship. His daughter's life was a reminder that public figures and their families carry burdens that often remain invisible. Their struggles are amplified, their successes scrutinized, and their personal growth judged by the world. The courage to navigate these challenges while staying true to oneself is remarkable. And Bishop Jake's acknowledgement brought that courage to light. Beyond the personal story, there was a broader lesson for everyone watching. Empathy matters. Understanding matters. Choosing kindness over curiosity matters. In a world quick to judge, quick to share, and quick to form opinions, this story became a quiet yet powerful reminder to pause and reflect. Before spreading rumors, before believing speculation, consider the human side, the feelings, the struggles, the dreams of the person involved. The father's words resonated on multiple levels. They highlighted the importance of truth, not just for clearing misconceptions, but for healing and growth. Honesty can transform relationships, restore dignity, and create deeper connections. Bishop Jake's candid revelation turned years of private struggle into a teachable moment for millions of viewers worldwide. For his daughter, the moment was transformative. She could finally exist outside of the narrative crafted by others. Her identity was no longer defined by rumors, but by her real experiences. Every challenge she had faced, every hurdle she had overcome, every step she had taken in the public eye, all of it was acknowledged and honored. And that acknowledgement was a gift, a rare affirmation of her humanity in a world often obsessed with image. Bishop Jake's courage also sent a message about leadership. True leadership is not just about sermons, public appearances, or motivating speeches, about integrity, vulnerability, and the willingness to confront difficult truths. By choosing to protect and honor his daughter publicly, he demonstrated that the most impactful leaders are those who lead with love, empathy, and honesty. The story did more than just clarify facts, it inspired reflection. Viewers were encouraged to consider the impact of their judgments, the harm of rumors, and the value of compassion. In a society often driven by curiosity and sensationalism, this narrative became a reminder that respect, understanding, and kindness should always come first. It was a call to see people for who they truly are, not the versions others create. As the narrative settled, the lessons became clear. Life under public scrutiny is challenging, even for those admired and respected. Struggles often go unseen, victories unnoticed, and personal battles silently fought. But by embracing honesty, facing rumors head-on, and protecting family with courage, Bishop Jake and his daughter turned a story of speculation into one of empowerment and inspiration. The emotional resonance of this story cannot be overstated. For the daughter, it was a moment of release, a chance to finally live her truth without the shadow of judgment. For Bishop Jake, it was an act of profound love, a demonstration that even the strongest men can be vulnerable when it comes to family. And for viewers worldwide, it was a reminder that empathy, honesty, and compassion are far more powerful than gossip, sensationalism, or curiosity. At its core, this story is about human connection. It reminds us that every person carries unseen struggles, that every heart bears hidden pain, and that every life deserves to be approached with understanding. The courage it took for both father and daughter to face the world with truth is a testament to the strength of love and the power of vulnerability. In the end, the narrative leaves a single, undeniable truth. Sometimes the most courageous act is simply saying, "I see you and I love you." No matter how difficult, no matter who is watching, acknowledging the humanity of those we care about and of those around us is an act of profound bravery. Bishop T.D. Jake's revelation was more than a clarification of rumors. It was a demonstration of love, resilience, and the silent battles fought behind closed doors. It showed the world that truth can heal, empathy can unite, and understanding can inspire. His daughter's journey highlighted that real strength is not the absence of struggle, but the ability to face life openly and honestly, even in the most challenging circumstances. For every viewer, the message is simple yet powerful. Pause before judging, think before speaking, and always consider the human side of every story. Gossip may be tempting, but empathy transforms. Curiosity may drive attention, but compassion fosters connection. And in a world that often values headlines over hearts, Bishop Jake's words serve as a timeless reminder that love, truth, and understanding are what truly endure. This is a story not just about rumors, not just about fame, and not just about a family in the public eye. It is a story about life itself, the struggles, the triumphs, the unseen battles, and the enduring power of love. It is a story that leaves viewers reflecting on their own actions, their own judgments, and their own capacity for empathy. Ultimately, the lesson is clear. Behind every public figure is a private life. Behind every headline is a human story. And behind every rumor is someone who deserves understanding. Bishop T.D. Jake's courage to speak out, to honor his daughter, and to advocate for empathy is a testament to the enduring strength of love. And for all of us watching, it is a reminder to always look beyond the surface, to recognize the struggles unseen, and to choose compassion over curiosity. Because sometimes the greatest act of courage is simply acknowledging another person's humanity and committing to protect, respect, and love them through it all.